Hello. That was a horrible clap on my part. I apologize. Welcome back to the Hunger Games Part 2. Okay, before I get started, let me address the elephant. Right here. It goes through my cursor, but little PNG me. I just want to test this for this video at least, and maybe streams and all that. But if you guys like it, let me know, and I'll maybe get rid of it or keep it, just depending on what you all think. Yeah, I cannot speak English today, but I am doing part 2 to this video because this is really fun to make, and after the fact, I saw all of my friends just, messing around with this on their own terms, so hey, I want to make more. But for this one, I added some custom events, which you'll see, and yeah. So if you guys enjoy this, leave a like, leave a comment for what you want to see, even subscribe if you'd like, because, I'm not one of those nerds that check my analytics that much, I don't know what percentage, but yeah. If you have any suggestions for what you want me to add, if for my channel or anything, let me know. But hey, without further ado, let's get into this. The Bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Miner runs away from the cornucopia. Jay runs away from the cornucopia. Spring stays at the cornucopia for resources. Annie finds a canteen full of water. Z-Mac finds a canteen full of water. And then grabs the backpack and retreats. Rex runs away from the cornucopia. Child runs away from the cornucopia. Ducky takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Okay, going on the offensive. Applesauce, coward as he is, runs away from the cornucopia. Kitty runs away from the cornucopia. Luna runs away from the cornucopia. Banana runs away from the cornucopia. Dusk retrieves a trident from inside the cornucopia. Okay. Milky runs away from the cornucopia. Wolfgirl runs away from the cornucopia. I run away from the cornucopia. I thought I was going to die there. Lowell steps off his podium too soon and blows up. Lixie runs away from the cornucopia. Riley runs away from the cornucopia. Map grabs a shovel. Okay, sounds like him. Zombie snatches a pair of scythes. Caitlin runs away from the cornucopia. And Nemia runs away from the cornucopia. Okay, hey. They're doing smart decisions, actually running away. My experience of Hunger Games, you do not want to go to the cornucopia. Day 1. Milky and Kitty work together for the day. Zombie tries to spearfish with a trident. Ducky scares Nemir off. Okay, the two ducks have beef. Jay makes a slingshot. Annie discovers a river. Z-Mac goes hunting. I feel anxious due to my face being covered in pimples. That's one of the ones I added as a joke. But hey, you right. Okay, I'm gonna have to fix this one. Caitlin sells her soul to whoever for a bag of chips. Caitlin's now a demon with no care for others. Map is reconsidering their life choices right now. Average for Map. Flixie sprains his ankle while running away from Child. Rex receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. And Miner makes a wooden spear. While Banana chases Dusk. Wolfgirl injures herself. Lunar steals from Spring while he wasn't looking. Okay, sounds about right for Lunar. Riley receives an explosive from an... It's horrible giving a British person stuff. Applesauce accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. That's creeper for you. And then feels anxious due to his face being covered in pimples. Okay. Arena event. A tsunami rolls into the arena. Wolfgirl survives. Okay, before I continue, I had my own custom event about I'm not gonna spoil what it was, so I'll re-add it at some point. It's just half my events didn't save, so I just got some free custom ones. I just added them in. But if you guys want me to add some more, leave suggestions. But yeah, Flixie fatally injures himself on debris. I'm assuming he died. Ducky survives. Caitlin holds Z-Mac underwater to drown. Z-Mac, no! This isn't Gang Beast, Caitlin. Milky fatally injures herself on debris. Lunar survives and then survives. Spring survives. Miner fatally injures himself on debris. Okay. I survive. Dusk survives. Mimi survives. Rex fatally injures himself on debris. Map and Riley survive. Kitty holds Child underwater to drown. Banana and Zombie survive. Jay survives. And Annie fatally injures herself on debris. 9 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Lulz, Applesauce, Flixie, Z-Mac, Milky, Miner, Rex, Child, and Annie. It's not even night. Night 1. I receive clean water from an unknown sponsor. Spring tries to treat his infection. Banana loses sight of where he is. Jay loses sight of where he is. Ymir sees a fire but stays hidden. Wolfgirl climbs a tree to rest. And then destroys Kitty's supplies while she is asleep. Riley falls asleep in a dumpster. Accurate. Lunar dies from thirst. Zombie cries himself to sleep. Ducky bleeds out to untreated injuries. Caitlin eats food from the dumpster, which Riley is sleeping in. Matt dies from an infection, and Dusk tends to his wounds. Okay. On a dumpster action. Oh no! Zombie, Dusk, and Riley argue over England's greatest Prime Minister. Kitty and Wolfgirl shoot a barrage of arrows at Ymir, who uses me as a shield. So I'm dead. Caitlin and Banana split up to search for resources. Jay makes a slingshot, and then injures himself. And Spring sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Okay, this is so accurate because Riley's British. He's from England. So, you know, of course he of all people would be arguing about the greatest Prime Minister. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Lunar, Ducky, Map, and me. I just want to win one round, man. Night 2. Kitty falls asleep in a dumpster. Wolfgirl passes out from exhaustion. Riley screams for help. Spring tries to treat his infection. Banana is hunted down by the police for continuous tax fraud. Ymir stays awake all night. Zombie and Caitlin huddle for warmth. And then questions his sanity. Dusk cooks his food before putting his fire out. Jay receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. With all that riz he's got, he's gotta use it out somewhere. Day 3. Riley is taken by the Simp Slayer. Kitty runs away from Ymir. Wolfgirl sees smoke rising in the distance, but decides not to investigate. Jay injures himself. Dusk is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Zombie picks flowers. Banana makes a wooden spear, and then receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Spring receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Caitlin picks flowers. Okay. Fallen tributes. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Riley. They didn't agree with the Prime Minister discussion. Night 3. Kitty begs for Spring to kill her. He refuses, keeping Kitty alive. And then receives a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Jay begs for Banana to kill him. He refuses, keeping Jay alive. Caitlin sets up camp for the night. Ymir stays awake all night. Wolfgirl almost kills Zombie, but soon realizes they are not so different. Dusk receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. My headcanon right now is just that the unknown sponsor is probably like Sir Billhops or somebody. Who knows? But Caitlin receives clean water from an unknown sponsor, which is day 4. Spring, Ymir, and NNN argue over England's greatest Prime Minister. Kitty discovers a river. Zombie thinks about home. Dusk receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Banana falls into a pit and dies. Wolfgirl discovers a river, and Jay travels to higher ground. Okay. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. A banana. Night 4. Ymir receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. NNN passes out from exhaustion. Spring receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Jay and Wolfgirl run into each other and decide to truce for the night. Kitty once again falls asleep in a dumpster. Or wasn't she eating out of it? I don't remember. Dusk cries himself to sleep. The zombie cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. And Caitlin tries to treat her infection. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families. Ymir decides not to go to the feast. Jay decides not to go to the feast. Caitlin takes a staff leaning against the cornucopia. Wolfgirl decides not to go to the feast. Dusk decides not to go to the feast. Kitty decides not to go to the feast. And then sobs while gripping a photo of his friends and family. And Spring cannot handle the circumstances and commit suicide. I swear, if NNN wins again, I'm gonna actually be mad. Because this one's not rigged. I make sure, like, if it says saved, then it's gonna have the same winner. But day 4. Jay discovers a cave. NNN runs away from Ymir. Dusk travels to higher ground. Caitlin cannot handle circumstances and commits suicide. And Wolfgirl kills Kitty while she is resting. Okay. Fallen tributes. 4 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Zombie, Spring, Caitlin, and Kitty. Night 5. Wolfgirl unknowingly eats toxic berries. Jay dies trying to escape the arena. Dusk screams for help. And then passes out from exhaustion. And Ymir cooks his food before putting his fire out. Day 6. And then sees the Simp Slayer in the distance and hides. Nightmare receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Dusk tries to fish a spear without a trident. With a trident. Sorry. I want one of these two to win. I don't want NNN to win. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Wolfgirl and the Rizzler himself, Jay. Night 6. NNN screams for help. Ymir questions his sanity, and Dusk is unable to set a fire and sleeps without warmth. Day 7. NNN sees a Spinosaurus and decides to walk the other way. Ymir searches for firewood, and Dusk falls into a frozen lake and drowns. No, Dusk. Ymir, you're our last hope. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Dusk. Night 7. NNN catches Ymir off guard and kills him. Why? Why? The winner is unfortunately NNN again. So sorry, Dusk and Ymir. Those got last. Okay, but let's simulate again. If NNN wins, If NNN wins again, I will add a maid dress for the next time I use this PNG. Let me just sip of water. The bloodbath. As the tributes stand on their podiums, the horn sounds. Kitty runs away from the cornucopia. Caitlin runs away from the cornucopia. I run away from the cornucopia. Flixie runs away from the cornucopia. Ducky takes a spear from inside the cornucopia. Lunar runs away from the cornucopia. Map runs away from the cornucopia. Rex shoots an arrow in Applesauce's head. Bye-bye, Creeper. Milky grabs a sword. Child runs away from the cornucopia. Lols runs away from the cornucopia. Miner runs away from the cornucopia. Dusk runs away with a lighter and some rope. And then retrieves a trident from inside the cornucopia. Wolfgirl retrieves a trident from inside the cornucopia. Zombie runs away from the cornucopia. Ymir runs away from the cornucopia. Banana runs away from the cornucopia. Jay snatches a pair of thighs. Not size. Thighs. Jay likes his thighs, but he's getting size. Z-Max stays at the cornucopia for resources. Annie falls into a frozen lake and drowns. Spring runs away from the cornucopia, and Riley finds a canteen full of water. Okay. Day 1. Lunar collects fruit from a tree. I receive a hatchet from an unknown sponsor. Let's go, Sir Billhops. And then it collects fruit from a tree. Zombie accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Banana bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Wolfgirl and Lols work together for the day. Kitty, Riley, and Miner argue over England's greatest prime minister. Okay. That could be an actual debate. But Jay defeats Flixie in a fight, but spares his life. Caitlin, Ducky, and Child also argue over England's greatest prime minister. I don't know why that one's so common. Holy. Rex accidentally steps on a landmine. Map receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Dusk cannot handle the circumstances and commits suicide. Z-Mac receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. Milky makes a slingshot. Spring questions his sanity, and Ymir dies from hypothermia. His feathers couldn't save him. Already, 7 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Applesauce, Annie, Zombie, Banana, Rex, Dusk, and Nightmare. Night 1. NNN is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Z-Mac tends to his wounds. Spring sets up a camp for the night. Sorry. Lunar falls asleep in a dumpster. Jay dies from hypothermia. Kitty is awoken by Nemirs. Wolf Girl is hunted down by the police for continuous tax fraud. Milky receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Caitlin quietly hums. Child looks at the night sky. Map cries himself to sleep. Miner screams for help. I go to sleep. Flixie passes out from exhaustion. Ducky tends to Riley's wounds, and Lols is awoken by Nemirs about Nemir. Day 2. Lunar sells his soul to insert person here for bag of chips, so Lunar is now a demon with no care for others. Z-Mac sells his soul to probably the same person for a bag of chips, and Z-Mac is also a demon with no care for others. Kitty kills a hobo for their money. Milky camouflages herself in the bushes. Chowder seems clean water from an unknown sponsor. Flixie accidentally detonates a landmine while trying to arm it. Caitlin travels to higher ground. Ducky attempts to climb a tree but falls on Lols, killing them both. Wolf Girl travels to higher ground. Map is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Miner picks flowers. Yes! And then bleeds out to the untreated injuries. I think about home. Spring poisons Riley's drinks, mistakes it for his own, and dies. And dies. I'm so happy. 6 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Jay, Flixie, Ducky, Lols, and an N in spring. Night 2. Caitlin passes out from exhaustion. Wolf Girl attempts to start a fire but is unsuccessful. I fall asleep in a dumpster. Riley unknowingly eats toxic berries. Milky defeats Child in a fight but spares his life. C-Mac is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Map is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. Miner questions his sanity. What sanity? Kitty tries to treat her infection, and Lunar also tries to treat his infection. Day 3. Lunar and Caitlin split up to search for resources, while Kitty is pricked by thorns while picking berries. Miner receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Z-Mac hunts for other tributes. Map tries to sleep through the entire day. I unknowingly eat toxic berries. Bye-bye. Milky receives fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Child tends to Wolf Girl's wounds. 2 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Me and the British boy. Riley and Onyx. Me. Day 3. Wolf Girl eats food from the dumpster. Child thinks about winning. Milky receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Z-Mac also unknowingly eats toxic berries. Lunar and Caitlin talk about the tribute still alive. Miner sets up camp for the night. Map receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor, and Kitty climbs a tree to rest. Sounds like Kitty. The feast. The cornucopia is replenished with food, supplies, weapons, and memoirs from the tribute's families, blah 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 blah. Milky and Wolf Girl decide to work together to get more supplies. Lunar stuffs a bundle of dry clothing into a bag before sprinting away. Map decides not to go to the feast. Child takes a staff leaning against the cornucopia. Miner decides not to go to the feast. Kitty steals Caitlin's memoirs. Damn, Kitty! Damn! Day 4. Map sees a Spinosaurus and decides to walk the other way. Milky discovers a river. Child hunts for other tributes. Wolf Girl sets off an explosive, killing Kitty. Lunar camouflages himself in the bushes. And Miner strangles Caitlin after engaging in a fist fight. Calm down, Miner. 3 cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Z-Mac, Kitty, and Caitlin. Night 4. Milky quietly hums. Child questions his sanity. Miner sees fresh food from an unknown sponsor. Map lets Lunar into his shelter, and Wolf Girl is awoken by Nemirs. Day 5. Miner kills a hobo for their money. Lunar sees a Simp Slayer in the distance and hides. Milky receives medical supplies from an unknown sponsor. Child sees smoke rising in the distance but decides not to investigate. Map camouflages himself in the bushes, and Wolf Girl dies from hypothermia. 1 cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Wolf Girl. Night 5. Miner receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. Milky eats food from the dumpster. Map cooks food before putting his fire out, and Lunar repeatedly stabs Child to death with sighs. Lunar! Calm the frick down. Day 5. Miner picks flowers, while Map wishes he was dead. Lunar sees the Simp Slayer in the distance and hides, and Milky receives clean water from an unknown sponsor. These two have to work together to get rid of these two, because these two are on the same team. So, one cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Child. Night 6. Map eats food from the dumpster. Milky sets up camp for the night. Lunar tries to sing himself to sleep, and Miner also tries to sing himself to sleep. Day 7. Map and Lunar hunt for other tributes. While Miner begs for Milky to kill him, she refuses, keeping Miner alive. No cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Night 7. Miner eats food from the dumpster. Milky bleeds out due to untreated injuries. Map and Lunar hold hands. It's always Map. Come on, Map. Map's, Map has got a side hustle going on, guys. Day 8. Lunar runs away from Miner, and Map receives an explosive from an unknown sponsor. One cannon shot can be heard in the distance. Milky. Night 8. Map is unable to start a fire and sleeps without warmth. And Miner defeats Lunar in a fight but spares his life. That's not Miner at all. That's not Miner. Day 9. Oh! Lunar stabs Miner in the back while his back is turned. And Map wishes he was dead. Oh no. Arena event. Monkey mutts fill the arena. Lunar dies from internal bleeding caused by a monkey mutt. Well, two cannon shots can be heard in the distance. Miner and Lunar. And the winner is Mapbot. It wasn't an end. Oh, I'm so happy. But here are replacements. Of course, Creeper got last. Hey, that wasn't that bad. So, if you guys want to see more, let me know. Custom event ideas, people ideas, and yeah. Once again, if you have feedback on, my little me right here, let me know. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and there will be another one of this soon, as well as some more stuff like Job Simulator here soon. But yeah, without further ado, hope you all have a good day, and this guy right here is gay. Also, just as a brief side note here, I just finished recording this, so I just sent the thumbnail. Yes, you all know this thumbnail right here. But, if you guys just want to do this too, if you enjoy these, you can draw them, whatever. But, these are fun. If you want to draw stuff about it, I will feature it in the video. Which, I have some stuff, but I'll probably feature it in the next one when I have that one too. But yeah. I just want to add this in at the end of the video, and for real this time, goodbye.